What's up, guys? HTG Brian back with some more LEGO Horizon Adventures. Next up, we got Drawing Out Helis, Level 2, The Flavors of the Lost World Story. We're going to find ourselves another gold brick to add to our collection. We're also going to take down a big polluter, which will give us another sticker. We're going to also find a cauldron and take it down, which leads to us unlocking another trophy called Toil and Trouble. And of course, we're also going to have our biggest Shell Walker battle yet. So, quick conversation before we dip out. Let's go ahead and check it out.
How can anyone spend time in the desert and still worship the sun? Now a tall glass of iced tea or a big bowl of ice cream, that I get.
Back in my day, I'd spend months out here with nothing but a thimble of water, having all kinds of wild adventures. Like when I discovered a giant flying machine and rode on its back for miles.
Yeah, you sure it wasn't the heat getting to you? Yeah, that can make you dream up some pretty wild stuff. Ow! I was kidding. Old folk, huh? No sense of humor.
If you want to handle my comic collection, you need to wear gloves.
As they searched the desert for ways to annoy Helis, Aloy and her friends came across another cauldron. Where would it lead them? Play a little more to find out.
Whoa, did Aaron get popped by Tirsa? I feel like he got the old backhand for not respecting his elders. I don't think he was really disrespecting either. I think he just found the line in the sand and he probably shouldn't cross it anymore. All right, speaking of lines in sand, we're going to follow the old stud trail down and around over to another cauldron, as we promised you a trophy for collecting your third, even though technically it's our fourth, our third cauldron. That's right, check your stats. For some reason, that first one we run into did not count. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's just because it was like a tutorial-based one and it didn't really count. Like, we didn't have any real threats or anything crazy in there, but I still feel like it was our first cauldron. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, all right, keep on with the keeping on until you find yourself an electric pad on the ground. Wait for it to stop being so shockingly awesome, and then cross the path over to find yourself being attacked by a handful of baddies. Now, what would seem like an easy task to take down a couple of watchers and his friend, it turns out to be a heat-seeking nightmare. Look out for those watcher shots as they will follow you up and down and all around. And I am not looking my best right now as I have taken a couple shots right to the kissa. And all right, finally got those baddies already. Oh no, some more are going to spawn though. Now, I think you probably could advance forward and maybe skip these guys, but at the same time, we need that XP. So let's go ahead and take them down. Hey, I said take them down. This guy, for some reason, is taking a few extra arrows. All right, finally, Watcher down. Now, we're going to want to pick up one of those pink bombs after clearing out the room, as there is another one of those power terminals coming up that we'll need to go ahead and pump it up. Now, we got a few drops on the ground. Yours are likely going to look a little different than ours, but make sure you collect anything and everything that might do you some good moving forward, as we do have some baddies that need to be irradiated. So if you got some extra stuff, that's certainly going to help out. All right, well, guess we didn't need to pack this bomb all the way down, as there's some right here, but we'll go ahead and take out everything in sight, including, well, that's right, I almost forgot this little bin here. So let's go ahead and collect our studdage. We're cruising up to almost 75,000. And unfortunately, I didn't have Doug task himself with the final total of how much it would all cost to buy all the outfits and roofs, which is something we would normally do, but it sort of just escaped us. So hopefully we'll be able to figure this out. By the time I get done, I'll have the monies and I'll be able to report that to you guys. Oh no, let's make sure we build the bridge completely before we walk across it there, Brian. But all right, across the bridge, we find ourselves a birthday cake. Again, the builds are likely going to look a little different for you. And, of course, we found a bin that we popped open and gave us some treasure. We'll go ahead and take that. It looks like we got ourselves a brick separator now. Those are one of my favorites for the biggies. So, going to put those to use in a wee bit. Cross the gap. Hold on to those handholds. Pull yourself up. Don't look down. And, of course, eventually grab one of these pink bombs and yeet it at the terminal to go ahead and lift up these platforms. Now, they're going to sort of come and go, so time it perfectly. And you can see they have little blue markers and they start to go orange right before they drop. So a nice little visual key for you. Oh no, we got another big guy over here. So we'll go ahead and watch out for his aerial attacks as those can be hazardous to one's health. And of course, if you can, try to take advantage of the electricity on the ground here. And if you remember, we also picked up a brick separator. So like I said, I love using these brick separators on the big guys. My advice too is hit them once, and while they're stunned, don't hit them again. Use a couple of arrows or maybe something else you got to go ahead and lower that meter down a wee bit. So I found that if you hit him back to back with the old brick separator, it's going to actually pick him right back up versus him being stunned on the ground. So definitely benefits you to wait it out. All right, before moving forward, we take note of some silver studs over on the right-hand side, which actually lead us to a bomb respawner, which is going to come in handy because we actually have 2 terminals up ahead that need to be powered up. In order to do that, you have to play a quick game of Frogger here. It's kind of similar anyways. It's been a long time since I've played any Frogger. I'm surprised that hasn't gotten like a remaster on a remaster on a remaster, but time the jumps just right. Make your way across these gaps back over to the respawner, or there are some scattered throughout the lands too, so definitely just pick up a bomb and make your way back across. Get your timing just right, and booyah-ka-show. That should actually lift up another platform that will allow us to get over to the doorway, and we are out of the... okay, I guess not. We're just moving on to another room here. I thought we were officially leaving, but that's not happening just yet. Keep on with the keeping on until you find yourself some more bad guys. And of course, again, I'm going to recommend you try to use the shock ability here. The elemental damage definitely does an extra bit. And of course, hit them right in the chops or in any of those golden soft spots, and it should do the damage quicker and get you done did. All right, destroy everything, collect as many studs as you can, and let's go ahead and make our way to some handhelds here, which turns out we need to go down below. Well, we don't need to, but there is a bin down here, so I'm going to go ahead and collect it. And again, we're getting closer and closer to that 75,000. I don't know why that's such a good milestone for me, but it feels good knowing we got a lot in the can. Now, this is kind of tricky. You got to be on the edge by the arrow, and you got to time it just right. As you can see, if you jump while it's moving, it's going to sort of throw you with a little momentum, so be careful there. It seemed like we came to a dead end here, but you need to pop those shells off the top, which will give us access to climb up and over. I feel like I'm at Police Academy right now. And I tried to speed run this little platform over here, but unfortunately I botched the jump, and I'm going to have to wait it out now and go for another cycle here. So we'll wait for it to go all the way back around, and we're almost ready. And you can see the handhelds in the back. There, we're going to jump up and do some death-defying hanging here. We're going to actually need to complete this tiny little puzzle. It's basically we need to get across these handhelds, climb up, ride these platforms back over to the left, where we can go ahead and grab a bomb and then take that back over. As you can see, there's a terminal that needs to be pumped up. And of course, I see some studs, so I jump all over that. I still wasn't sure, do I need to go back over there? Is there maybe some bombs down here? Nope. You gotta ride the ride to get over to the explodey bomb. So we'll go ahead. I do want to recommend, too, that you stay towards the right side of these platforms because there's sort of a slanted roof here. And I don't know if you noticed in that first jump, I almost didn't make it because I hit my head on the roof. And, you know, you can follow your doom and still respawn and everything will be fine. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to make sure that I didn't die. That's important to me, that I provide a good, clean run for you guys. And I just figured I'd drop that tip off along the way. Oh, what's that, Aloy?
Okay, let's get out of here. Helis isn't gonna annoy himself. Well, not as well as we can. Huh.
After the shadows of the Cauldron, the desert sun was blinding. But when they regained their bearings, they realized they had taken a shortcut.
All right, so Cauldron complete. And turns out it was also a shortcut? I'll take it. Speaking of taking it, make sure you grab any and all things relevant to you at the Traveling Merchant and then make your way through the arches. Immediately we find some studs and also a little beach sandcastle, so we'll knock that down. And hey, look at that, over to our far left, we're going to find some silver studs. Silver studs. Hey, and it leads to a build, which I'm still not sure what the crap that is, but gave us some studs, so I will take it. All right, drop down below, and we should find ourselves a shell walker. Now, one of these shell walkers, this guy right here, happens to have a health meter up top, so he is more of a traditional boss in the sense versus just a standard run-of-the-mill shell walker. So we're going to try to yeet some bombs at him. We're also going to try to stay our distance and take out the smaller guys first. Of course, using any environmental stuffs along the way. Unfortunately, I got that knocked down. I shouldn't have gone towards it, really, because I knew he was going to do that attack. And, you know, we prefer to use those on the bad guys and not have it be some sort of a hazard we need to avoid, because you saw I took him right to it and he knocked it down and it about knocked my block off. So anyways, use any gadgets and weapons that you can, and, you know, always focus on the smaller guys, but also, if you can, try to just avoid them. Reason being is they will keep respawning. So this shell walker will call in more bad guys if he's feeling a little lonely. And so, you know, having one bad guy out probably would benefit you as long as you can avoid the attacks. Now, if there's lots of stuff happening and it's just causing you trouble, then I definitely recommend taking him down. But try to get some cheap shots in on the shell walker, whether it's just the little crab claw or if it's, you know, sneaking around the backside and actually hitting him in his sweet spot. There you can see I dropped a stack of rocks on him, and it didn't really help all that much health-wise. So, I mean, it did, but not as much as I would have hoped. So, I'm going to take my focus and put these bombs to work here, and unfortunately, they do even less damage than the rocks. So, at this point, I'm not sure what the best attack method is. Now, I start thinking maybe these bombs can do damage to multiple guys at a time, but at the end, it really just comes down to hitting those sweet spots. So use the focus if you're not sure where they are. It should light up those gold spots on the back and on the left hand that actually wields the shield. And then, you know, try to focus on those as much as possible. You know, due to the fact that the shell walker continuously respawns bad guys, you could sort of use this as an XP farm if you're, you know, trying to get Varl or Tirsa or somebody leveled up. Definitely an option, as, you know, these guys aren't too difficult, and you can sort of avoid the shell walker, just sort of play a game of Ring Around the Rosies. But maybe I should consult our guide, because Dougie's got some information on some levels and places and where to go to get them XPs up. So definitely check out HappyThumbsGaming.com, look at our trophy achievement guides, and find the one for LEGO Horizon Adventures. You can see I'm sort of dodging these guys now, and although this guy's got a low meter and I take him out, I'm really just trying to get to the back side of the shell walker so I can attack. This is just going on way longer than I would prefer, but again, it's not bad for XP. I mean, we're almost to level 16, and it would be pretty nice. I mean, we got like 3-4 levels left. It would be pretty sweet if we finished up with Aloy being at 20, and then us just having to grind out the rest of the 3, which are, you know, there's actually already a head start. I mean, Varl's like level 8, and I think Aaron's like 11, and Tirsa was like 6. So, I mean, you add those up, and I mean, instead of having to do 60 levels, that's certainly a lot less, but still a grind nonetheless. So, all right, I got him sort of pinned here, and I'm doing lots of damage, and then I think there's these weird moments in the game where if a bad guy is just barely off screen, they don't seem to move. It's like we're not close enough for them to, you know, feel like threatened or attack us. So you can see I sort of took advantage of that until I had to avoid those laser beams. And then now I'm just trying to fight off anybody and everybody. We're really going for them sweet spots, because I know that if I drop the shell walker, that all of the other bad guys will disappear too. It's that hive mind tactic. But I'm also aware that I need more XP, and these guys are definitely getting closer. So I'm going to try to run all the way around one more time, and hopefully I get the shots that I need. Oh, yeah, he's going to do that laser beam. That's a great time to sneak around back, and booyakashow! Shell walker down, although I got blasted by the shell, so definitely try and avoid that.
Oop, oop, looks like I'm getting another angry call.
Angry? Me? I know we got off on the wrong foot, but I'm a perfectly calm person. Ask anyone in my cult, they'll tell you I'm famous for my composure. So, why don't we talk?
I don't know, Aloy. He still sounds kind of mad.
Yeah, no kidding.
I am not mad. Look, we're both reasonable people. Just tell me what it'll take to stop all this silly polluter wrecking.
What is it that we want? I think what we really want is to keep wrecking those polluters.
You shade-loving slugs! You better not! I will come over there and I will build more pillars and they'll be bigger.
And terminate call. That should keep him stewing nicely.
Ah, Aloy with the prank call. Gotta love it. That reminded me of the old Jerky Boys. Anyways, Toil and Trouble trophy rang off for completing our 3rd cauldron. We also got a gold brick and another sticker. And Booyah Kashow, we got another cutscene. Let's check it out.
There it is. The legends were true. It's the Donut Horde. The heat, the monument, the spiked devices. It's all real.
That's the big, long-lost treasure.
Oh, boy. Aaron, are you sure this is the legendary Donut Horde?
What? Yeah, of course. The signs are all there. The heat of the forge, that's the desert. And if that's not an ancient monument to donuts, I don't know what is. Plus, you've got, cactuses all over the place, which are obviously the spiked traps protecting it.
I think the heat's getting to him. You know, it'll make you dream up some pretty wild stuff.
Aaron's right. Of course it's the legendary Donut Horde.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
So, Aaron, must feel good to achieve your lifelong dream.
Well, dream's only half there. The other half is proving my sis wrong. I'm sending her a proof parcel with some of the new donut flavors I found in the Horde. Gooseberry Surprise, Caramel Drool. Ha! It's gonna kill her that I was right.
I always wondered what it was like to have a brother or sister. It sounds complicated.
Family always is. They drive you crazy. But you still gotta love them.
Once my victory over her is complete, it's time for some new goals, like kicking Helis's butt.
So, was the Donut Horde like an old Dunkin' Donuts or something that had been like just waiting to be found? I mean, I'd take a cruller or maybe a Maple Bar or something if they're still serving. But anyways, moving right along, we trudged our way by our yard, which puked out a bunch of studs for us before heading on over to the next level start point, which is kind of getting into the home stretch. In fact, we only have, 3 more levels of this area and then one final one? That's feeling pretty good. Hey guys, don't forget to click that like button if you haven't already, and please check us out on social media and over at HappyThumbsGaming.com. We also got HTG merch. There's lots of stuff going on over there. If you haven't checked it out, click that link down below in the video description and check out and maybe even make a perch. As for me, that's going to do it. As always, until next time. Swoop.